once you see
Yes,
it, you
you
can't
have,
unsee it. They are the suburbs AAU team where they have their all the rich dads. Oh my God, they're so good.
Does Purdue have all the rich dads? I don't know. We're going to get into it and look at these clips on this episode. Purdue tonight at 8 o'clock. It's the rivalry we've been waiting for. Let's get into it.
Pretty simple. I win.
Hello, guys, and welcome to Indiana Sports Connection. I am your residential anchor, Aaron. Thank you so much for being here and being part of this community. So we have a lot of stuff to talk about on the show today. Purdue tonight, what are the keys to the game for Indiana? How do they slow down Braden Smith? How do they put them in bad positions like they did before to get the sweep of Purdue? And then we're going to take a look at this clip from Mark Titus where he breaks down Purdue. It's about a minute long, but hilarious. And we have a few clips of Darren DeVries talking about certain players on this team who is going to have to step up in this game. And there's one in particular, or two in particular, that we're going to look at. But if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button down below. Turn that black subscribe button white. Make my dreams come true and send this video into the algorithm and hit that thumbs up button. It pumps the video out to more Hoosier fans across the country and across the globe. Thank you for being here. This is Indiana Sports Connection, where the most passionate fans come to talk about the games. And 10% of the AdSense revenue on this channel goes to T2T.org. Without further ado, let's get into talking about the Indiana Hoosiers. All right, Hillbilly Monkey. Tonight, Indiana, Purdue, 8 o'clock. One of those big Fox games. So it's going to be hyped up. Mackey Arena is going to be in a blackout. It's going to be an incredible environment there. What is Indiana going to have to do in this game to get over the hump against the Boilermakers? But one of the big keys is going to be Connor Enright on Braden Smith. What he was able to do in that first game against them, making him uncomfortable. What you really want to do with him, and he's still going to get his points, but do not let him collapse the defense. Do not switch off of him and force him into taking some of those mid-range jumpers. I think he's a lot more effective once you start switching off of him. If you can't follow him, and then he can start passing the ball and, Lawyer gets out and hits a three, you're just going to have to stay glued to this guy. Connor Enright, I mean, we've had a little bit of time to rest here in between these games, but this is going to be like the most electric game they've probably played all year at Mackey Arena. So, and some of these guys, they're experiencing this for the first time. So could we see magic tonight? That Jalen Hood-Schifino game sticks in my mind so much. Like, could we have a magical night? And that brings me to my next point, because Nick Dorn has fallen on hard times. He's like 4 of 28 shooting threes since the USC game. So he's a real X factor. I mean, if Dorn can settle in and hit some threes in this game, I think it'll be available. Purdue's defense is vulnerable to more athletic wings. Although Dorn is not super athletic, I do think he'll get in some mismatch situations where he's been able to drive the ball a little bit more, but he's just going to have to stay aggressive. If your shot doesn't fall right off the bat, drive the ball. It'll be interesting who will be on him if Lawyer's on him. But we know Purdue's defense is vulnerable at the wing spot. Stop some of those type of players. I mean, I know Dorn, he's a little bit taller, maybe a little bit more physical, and he's kind of added that to his game. And here we have Darren DeVries talking about Nick Dorn and what he has to do in this one.
USC game on, I think 26 of those 28 shots were threes. Do you guys try to encourage him, hey, try a few inside looks? Or you maybe trying to urge him to, I don't know, just try to find easier looks for him to kind of help him free himself from the slump that he's in right now?
Yeah, I think, he's had a little bit of a shooting slump, but it's keeps you, the numbers are going to average themselves out here at any moment. Any moment. So, Nick's a really good shooter. That next game, could be the 6 or 8 game. So, and he's done a good job of picking some spots. He's had some games here recently. He's been able to get to the rim a few times and drive it. So that's certainly something he's added to his game as the years go on, and he'll continue to get better and better at it. But I think for all of our guys, it's just remain confident, because it doesn't do any good to not be. So
I think Dorn is going to have a big night tonight. I don't know. I just have a feeling. He's been down. They've kind of had like a week off to prepare, maybe kind of time to get your head out of the way or something. But that is my prediction. I think Dorn, if he could have another one of those nights, and he's fallen off here recently, but it just takes a couple of shots to see it go down and then get back into the groove. We shall see. He is definitely the X factor in this game. Him and Connor Enright getting it done. But we know role players, they do not always play great on the road. So, could we see a magical night like the Jalen Hood-Schifino night? It would be great to sweep Purdue. And also for Darren DeVries, it would go a long way with him as a coach, just because so many people are still teetering on, well, whether or not this guy's going to be the coach long term or not. I mean, it's so early. It's so early to not even know, but we got to give this guy a chance. I mean, he's got to have more of a chance than this. I'm impressed with what he's done so far with this group, with the style he plays and how they're able to grind out some wins. So try to stay positive about that, Hoosier fans. And then in this next clip, Darren DeVries, he talks about, you're playing a team the second time. Like, what do you do? What's the strategy there? And he shares that strategy with us a little bit. Hillbilly Monkey, roll it.
For a team the second time, like I assume, some of the game planning from the prior game you got to throw out for various circumstances or reasons. Like, can you just walk us through that?
Yeah, I've always thought, that when you play a team the second time, whether you won or lost, it's like when you won, you try to do the same stuff and how much, because they're preparing for that, and how much do you change, and then vice versa. So you got to be able to do different stuff and have different wrinkles for sure. But it still comes down to a lot of the things like the X's and O's are what they are, and you're going to tweak some things to try to find some advantages, but all those other things still matter, the turnovers, the rebounding, and those are the things that we got to do well to give ourselves a chance.
There you go. I mean, DeVries has been in college basketball, so you can tell he answers the questions. He knows, like, the strategy. He's in the game. He knows the strategy to the game. So yeah, that gives me some confidence for this, that they beat them the first time, and some of the mismatches. I think it's kind of a mismatch for Purdue. Whether or not the other key to this game, what they did the first time, is getting like Jacobson, Trey Kaufman-Renn, get the high ball screen, get those guys like up around the 3-point line, get those guys into space. That'll open things up for Alexis. He's been doing a great job of being able to get to the rim against some of these guys. Like against Illinois, I was impressed with how he was able to get it in there against them with their bigs. So that's going to be key. I mean, can you make Purdue play the game that Indiana wants to play? Can Indiana dictate this? Will they have trouble? That's where maybe Dorn, you get some mismatches. If he can hit a corner three, get himself going and get some better looks at the basket, because Purdue had a harder time guarding them around the perimeter when they tried to keep those bigs out there at the same time. So that is one of the biggest keys to this game, because that's how we beat them the first time. And it wasn't a high-scoring game either. So, and then I got this clip of Mark Titus, and there's no better time to show this clip than right now, because the rivalry between Indiana and Purdue is fierce, and I found this hilarious. So, Hillbilly Monkey, roll that clip. Let's see what he said, and we'll just talk about it for a minute here. But Hillbilly Monkey, roll it.
Purdue is a suburb AAU team that dominates all the. Have I said this already on the show? I'm going to say it again, because it just. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. They are the suburbs AAU team, where they have their fifth grade team. They got the names on the back of their jerseys. They got the newest fucking shoes. They got like warm-ups and breakaway pants, and like you're looking at them like, holy shit, dude, this team has all the rich dads. Oh my god, they're so good. And they dominate all the suburbs. They just, every little tournament they're playing in, they're fucking dominating everybody. And then they have to go into the city and play the city kids. Mm-hmm. And it's a different story. And all of a sudden they're looking at their dads like, Dad, what do I do? They're pressing me the entire length of the court. What do I do when they double team me, Dad? That's what Purdue is. And when Purdue is playing, like, this was a stark example. Is going into Saturday, I was so excited to watch Purdue Iowa. I thought that was going to be a great basketball game. Purdue ran Iowa out of the gym. Mm-hmm. Purdue dominated Iowa. Iowa's kind of another suburbs team. Michigan, fucking length, athleticism, dogs across the entire roster, and every time this iteration of Purdue basketball plays a team like that, they look like they're not that good.
I mean, in practice, maybe a little bit the way they look, because they're a mostly all white team from West Lafayette. Yeah, you can see that a little bit. Matt Painter looks like one of the rich dads, you know? He looks like the richest dad, but I just thought this take was hilarious, even though I don't know if there's any truth to it or not. I don't know. But because Purdue, they beat some great teams. I mean, even last year in the tournament, I mean, they almost beat Houston, who went to the, I know almost is just not enough, Purdue, but they can't, I guess they can still talk about our dusty banners at Assembly Hall, but getting the dust off of this 2026 football banner, which, you know, to say the least, it has IU fans still on cloud nine. Oh, and what do you think is going to happen in this game? You have the keys to the game here.
Carved from the sands of the Wabash River and formed into a monkey land that's sold at Home Goods. It's the Hillbilly Monkey Perspective on Indiana Sports Connection.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it's going to be loud as hell in there. I mean, they're going to have to communicate, use hand signals, do something, and get over the hump of this game because it's going to be a blackout. It's going to be all people yelling and screaming. It might be an environment that might catch them off guard, but you know what? I think Darren DeVries, what he's doing with this team so far, they're making their way. I got great confidence that they can win this game on the road and get themselves a higher seed line, and that's what we're at right now for this team. I think they're headed right for the tournament, and by the time them rich dads go out there like Matt Painter, it's going to be all the Indiana fans are going to want tonight.
You got that right. That's all the Indiana fans are going to want tonight. Should be a great game. You know, didn't talk about Wilkerson or DeVries, but everyone just has to raise their level on these road games, and we've seen some ups and downs in some of the road games, but so far this year, Indiana's played pretty decent on the road, except in that Minnesota game. But they have fought on the road. So this is going to be an unfamiliar environment to all these guys. So it's going to be interesting how they're going to react to everything. But it's a big one. It's on the, you know, Fox Hoops, and Gus Johnson's doing the game. So I always love it when it's going to be a really hyped atmosphere. And let's see the Hoosiers get it done tonight. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Indiana Sports Connection. Until next time, stay classy out there, Hoosier fans.